Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rob, and welcome back to the Yorg. I had a really fun time with Roger, the insane wizard who made his own hell dimension, and Fran, the noble lady who became addicted to strength potions in the end, because I didn't know how to be a smelter. So this time we're going to play as the other two characters. I'm just going to take the names that Gnarlsy did. Meredith for the lady, and Frank for the man. And we're going to begin. Of course we know what the Yorg is this time round. The Yorg will be here in 6 weeks and no one expects it. Not one of us. We do. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware. Okay. Meredith. Let's send Meredith to, I don't know, gardens? She can meditate in the gardens. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. Walking past a pond one day, you see a fat little frog sitting on a lily pad. Please, miss, the frog begs, I'm not a frog at all, but an enchanted prince. If you could see your way to kissing me, it would break the curse and return me to normal. Let's kiss the frog. You bend down and kiss the frog. You feel a curious stirring, like a curse trying to break. Fortunately, you don't seem to be magical enough to get the job done. The frog thanks you for your efforts and hops off sadly. You wake up the next morning with a bad case of lip warts. You lose 1 charm. Okay, so Frank seems like a big burly bloke, so he's going to just stay in the arena and compete in a fight with his battle axe. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. One night on your way home, you spot a rusty dagger on the ground. Pick it up, of course! As you pick it up, you hear a voice from behind you whisper, "You're not worthy." The dagger begins to dissolve into a black smoke. Within seconds, the blade is gone. So you must need a high skill for something for that to happen, for that to work. They say the last time it came, the Yorg devoured house as a whole. It sure did. Stole lives, definitely. Tore families apart and family members apart. Oops. But that was so very long ago. Let's do some administrative work in the hospital, because I don't really know what that does. You spend the week in the palace even. You spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You'll pay 2 wealth and gain 1 mind. One day you overhear the jester telling a joke to a group of people. Everyone laughs, but you didn't understand the joke at all. Ask for an explanation. You approach the jester, asking exactly what the joke meant. The jester scolds you at length about the danger of explaining jokes. Something about puppies and them dying when you dissect them. You don't quite understand, but everyone around you start laughing. Presumably the jester had just made another joke at your expense. You've begun coming to terms with the fact that your sense of humour is lacking. Being more self-aware, you manage to exude an aura of confidence. We gain 1 charm, even with our hideous lip warts. Let's fight crime with Frank. Actually, no. Let's go out into the forest and do some hunting. You spend the week hunting defenseless critters. You gain 2 finesse and sell the pelts for 1 wealth. One day you stumble upon a gigantic moss-covered stone. It pulses with magical energy. What do? You touch it, of course. Whenever something comes up to you, you don't just ignore it, because something cool might happen. You lay your hand onto the enormous object. The stone's magical energy shoots into your body. You gain 1 magic. It was on us in a heartbeat. Or so the stories go. The earth shook, and the air went still. Meredith can go. Let's see if she can pickpocket. You spend the week performing petty theft. You gain 1 wealth and 2 finesse. One night you hear cheering coming from an alleyway. Peering in, you see a crowd of men cheering on dogs violently, ripping each other apart. One of the men spots you and asks, "Oi, would you like to participate in our little better game?" Try to stop the dogfights, of course. You try to convince the gamblers that dogfighting is wrong. Your words fall on deaf ears. Very quickly they get quite angry with you. One of them walks up to you and pulls out a knife. You don't feel you've got the strength or speed to match this guy. You run away, hoping he won't follow. Yeah, that's probably the smart thing. Frank, can he fight crime? No, he can't. He's going to go to the tavern and get wasted. You spend the entire week getting wasted. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day while in the tavern, a heated argument erupts between 2 patrons. Soon enough, fists are flying and everybody seems to be joining in on the violence. Join the fray. You jump into the thick of the fight and let loose some pent-up rage on some unsuspecting patrons. You gain 1 physique from all that exertion. And then the world was a howling fury. Chaos screaming. The sound of all we know being pulled in half. Meredith can go back to the gardens. Do some more meditation. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain 1 magic and 2 mind. One day you come across an elderly man snoozing on the grass. "You there, young person." He waves you over. "I'm having an awful time trying to nap in the bright sun. Do you mind giving me some shade?" Sure, block the sun for the old man, why not? Ages seem to pass as you stand in the hot sun, the wizened old man sleeping peacefully in your shadow. The sun is sweltering, and after some hours you begin to feel faint. Gradually everything grows dark. I bet if you had a high physique you could do it though. When you awaken, it is evening in the garden, and an ancient gnarled tree stands where the old man was sleeping. For witnessing this miraculous event, you gain 1 magic. Cool. Now Frank's gonna go fight some crime. You spend the look at his mask. Oh, that's brilliant. I just pointed at the screen, but you can't see that, obviously. You spend the week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One night a woman walks up to you. "Excuse me, sir. Feeling a little lonely tonight?" she asks. "For only a small amount of coin, I make you feel good all night." "Sure." "You don't have enough money to pay her." Yeah, she shrugs and walks off. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong, or have we forgotten? Hold on, there we go. Let's brew some potions as Meredith. She seems to have good magic and good mind. Brew potions. You spend the week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind. One day while in the tower, one of the alchemists asks you to watch his potion while he's out. Soon after he leaves, the potion begins bubbling out of control. If you don't do something soon, it'll explode. Throw it out the window! You toss the potion out the window and watch its contents empty into the town's water supply. Quick thinking. You gain 1 mind. You take off early that day, hoping nobody finds out. Yeah, that doesn't sound too great. Should we go chop some wood? Chop some wood as Frank. That seems like a tiny little axe for his hands. You spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 wealth. One day while out in the woods, you spot a 6-legged deer drinking out of a river glowing a fluorescent pink. Oh, that must be because of the water supply that you just did. The sight fills you with wonder and amazement. You gain 1 mind. As it drinks, you can see another pair of legs growing out of its back. The Yorg, it's almost here. Almost. We're going to send Meredith to tend to some patients because she's got a high mind. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. Uh-oh. I think we all remember this. One day a patient comes to the hospital with sores that nobody has ever seen before. While walking by his bedside, he looks to you and rudely asks for a glass of water. We're going to ignore him. You walk past the man, pretending you never heard him. He dies soon after from dehydration. You're surprised at how little this bothers you. I'm not surprised. You gain 1 mind? Question mark? And for his last week before the Yorg attacks, or the Yorg comes, Frank's gonna compete in some fights. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena. You gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. During a match, another warrior's weapon is not from their grasp. You barely manage to avoid it. With a sickening crunch, it destroys the knee of a nearby bystander. He accuses you of causing him harm by not stopping the flying weapon. He takes you to court. Defend yourself. We can't convince the judge. Oh well. And the storm has arrived. And shit is shit. So, let's have a think about what everything corresponds to. The leader has got to be charm, hasn't it? The leader must be charm. The builder, I expect, is physique. The conjurer is obviously magic. The doctor is probably mind. Smelter is wealth. The tailor... I don't know what the tailor is. Finesse? I would have thought the looter was... I wonder what the town drunk is. I think we're going to have to do the town drunk at some point. For fun. But the doctor, whatever her name is, Meredith will be the doctor. You take it upon yourself to help the sick and injured from the Yorg. You're able to fix up most of your patients in no time at all. This means there are more people to help with rebuilding the town. This helps the survival effort considerably. And I think Frank will make a good builder with all his physique. You take it upon yourself to help rebuild the town by hand. You rebuild homes at breakneck speed, impressing the rest of the survivors. This helps the rebuilding of... Oh my god, my tongue is just falling out of my mouth. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. And so we set about our tasks, once more living our lives, this time in a way we might never have expected, or even wanted. But in the end... we flourished! Towers once wrecked and ravaged rose towards the sky. Trees again took root, then blossomed. We all blossomed. And though it took a long while, and though it took a lot from us, our future is bright. Should the Yorg ever return, we will be ready. Okay, that's a nice little picture. And now let's see what happened to Frank and Meredith. After the town is rebuilt, you go back to meditating in the park. You spend weeks at a time sitting in one spot trying to cross to another plane of existence. After years of attempts and self-sacrifice, you finally manage to cross over to the astral plane realm. You come to find that the astral realm is exactly like the normal world, except everyone's eyes are slightly smaller. You don't know how to get back home. That's brilliant. That's so stupid, but it's brilliant. After the town is rebuilt, you decide to move out into the woods. You become the friendly local lumberjack and fashion yourself a log cabin. You spend most of your days chopping down giant trees and carrying the logs to the town gate. You make friends with the drivers of the forest and spend every weekend at their wild river parties. All in all, you lead a good life. Well, that went much better than last time. The worst thing that happened is Meredith ended up in a land where everyone's eyes were kind of small, instead of dying a potion-addicted hulk of a woman, or become a murderous kidnapper. Frank became a friendly old lumberjack who partied with sexy young dryads. Alright. I think that went quite well. Thanks for watching. Might have another one. Who knows? This is really fun. Goodbye.